To you live from Slovenia, Lake Bled to be exact. Come on, jump in. Don't be afraid. The water's warm. Slovenia is located in Central Europe and nestled between Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia. Slovenia is also one of the 6 countries from the former Federal Republic of Yugoslavia and became independent on June 25, 1991. I stayed in Koper at the Bife Museum Hostel. Koper is located on the Adriatic Sea in the western part of the country. My 2 hospitable hosts, Tjaša and Jan, were my knowledgeable guides and drove me from Koper to Lake Bled, which is about an hour-and-a-half drive. Travel tip: European gas prices are by the liter, not the gallon. Okay, we've arrived at Bled. So, there are 3 parts to this excursion. First, Bled Castle, which is over 1,000 years old, making it the oldest castle in Slovenia. Second is the tear-shaped Bled Island near the western side of the lake. Bled Island has a small museum, the Pilgrimage Church of Assumption of Mary, and the famous wishing bell in the church's belfry. And third is the lake itself, only fed by a few tributary springs, with a couple being thermal, which supply 3 of the lake's hotels with their swimming pool water. You can cross the lake using a traditional Pletna boat. It is a wooden flat-bottom boat, similar to a Venetian gondola, but with a few modifications. The Pletna is about 23 feet long and 6.5 feet wide and can safely transport about 18 people. But the boats are on a schedule, so Jan used our extra time to share a local Slovenian delicacy. The Bled cream cake, or KREMŠNITA, was created in 1953 at Hotel Park's cake shop. So we strolled to the park restaurant and cafe to taste the sweetness. And let me tell you about this deliciousness. The bottom layer, puff pastry, then creamy custard, followed by whipped cream, then more puff pastry topped with sugar icing. It's heaven. While dining, we also admired the view from the cafe's balcony. Oh, and to ensure that you have real KREMŠNITA, it must sway. If it doesn't sway, stay away. Well, our time's up and our boat's leaving. Yeah, so we took a powered boat because it was a little chilly outside. When I return in the summer, I will use the Pletna, but the boat ride is 12 euros and takes about 10 minutes. The oarsman gives you about 45 minutes to explore Bled Island. So now that we've arrived, it's the perfect time for me to tell you about the island's legend and the wishing bell. Many moons ago, a young widow lived in the castle of Bled. Robbers killed her husband and dumped his body into the lake. She was devastated and visited Bled Island daily to pray in the chapel. One day she gathered all of her gold and silver to commission a bell for the chapel. During the bell's transport, a huge storm sank the boat, the bell, and the boatsman. It's said that on quiet, tranquil nights, you can still hear the bell ringing from the deep, dark waters of the lake. After this tragic mishap, the widow sold her fortune, had a new church built on the island, moved to Rome, and became a nun. After her death, the Pope blessed another bell and sent it to the island. He said that anyone that rings the bell 3 times and believes in God, his or her wish would come true. Okay, but enough of the sad stories. The island is also romantic. Here's a pick-me-up for the newlyweds. According to tradition, if a groom carries his bride up the 99 stone steps to the Pilgrimage Church of Assumption on the island, this deed will ensure a happy marriage. And there's love on the mainland too. If you've ever dreamed of getting married in a castle, you can. Bled Castle hosts marriage ceremonies, and many couples get married here each year, and I completely understand why. Love is in the air. Well, now it's time for me to sail off to my next adventure. I hope you enjoyed this tour, The Legend of Bled, Lake Bled, and now have a new bucket list destination. If you enjoyed this video, please place a like on it, subscribe, and share. Safe travels. Bye! For all things travel, visit TaniLam.com.